Look, the exercises that I do, basically from Paramahansa, what he called Yugoda originally, and then called energization exercises, and well, I think of it just as vitality exercises, physically and spiritually, and I do them with that purpose, right? What do I not do then? Let's look at the good and the evil here to get a contrast so that you get your bearings. I'm not building powerful, strong legs because I don't need them. I'm a human being. I use my legs for walking around. I don't typically have to run for my life. Okay? They don't typically have to lift gargantuan weights. And I avoid circumstances where I have to run for my life or lift gargantuan weights. I don't need massive legs, and I'm not originally built for such. If you want that sort of strength, well, you probably want an elephant for a pet, not a person. I'm not here to build similarly massive, powerful chest. The sort of thing that just takes the breath away of the maiden. It doesn't, incidentally. They find it quite repellent, many of them. In fact, if anything, it's frightening or horrific. They actually like the shape of a young chap who just loves them. Do you see? We don't need absurd extremes, and we don't exercise for absurd extremes. We just exercise for health and vitality, freedom from illness and disease, and freedom from disease of character. We are, in a sense, purists. There's a vitality in our spiritual makeup, a love of life, personified in God, the Lord, the giver of life, our life. As we trust, we want a nature, a emotional status of calm and joy and hope and peace and love, loving kindness. We exercise accordingly. We breathe accordingly if we're doing some sort of breathing, Kriya breathing perhaps. You know, what I've called triangular breathing, which I've talked of elsewhere, just as I've talked of the exercises elsewhere. And the diet too. Yeah, it's the same thing. We seek just health. We're not doing it for indulgent pleasure. We're not austere, although it seems it to those who are indulgent. Yeah, I mean, it's much easier to eat fruit than to cook successfully. How many meals have been cooked that have just turned out to be a disaster, really? Whether you knew it, as in, oh, that tastes vile, don't think I want that, I don't like the look of that, or whether we didn't know it and loved it and shoveled in more fat and protein that choked the body to death. I'm come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. Life eternal. That is the truth of the gospel. And if it isn't the truth of the gospel, believe me, you don't want it. You don't want to follow after death. Bless you. Do you see how it's the contrast of good and evil that guide us to the good? This is the wonderfulness about this planet. Don't judge it for being evil, for goodness sake. Judge it for being good and evil. And the opportunity, therefore, to follow goodness. Because you know it, you recognize it. And you recognize evil too, and avoid it like the plague. Bless you. And you are blessed. That's why you're here. Thank you, Dad. But you see, equally, on the spiritual things, I'm not meditating 8 hours, 12 hours a day. I don't need to. I'm trusting God. It's not something I have to achieve. It's something He's given. I don't have to earn my keep here. I'm a child of the household. In fact, in many ways, I'm why the household is here. To bring up children. Both in terms of this world and heaven, the family of God's abode. You don't have to earn your keep in heaven. You are privileged members of the household. I'm not slaving to achieve enlightenment, breakthrough. Loving God is the transcendence. And I have it already. When you arrive, you get out of the car, you don't stay in it. I don't mean it's some paralyzing state of Ananda joy, or some all-knowing omniscience. I don't need all power, omnipotence. What's the other? Omnipresence. Well, I don't need that either. I have the company of God. You have too, it's just that you don't realize it. And you're not benefiting from it. In the sense of appreciating it, valuing it, being overwhelmed with gratitude for it, and thereby knowing God. Your God, whom I trust we will find is the same God. We will come to the same conclusion. But we have a uniqueness of the way we came, the path that we came. And that is our individuality. From which we enjoy all the blessings of God eternally. And I'm not willing to trust anything else. Everything else is inferior, as I understand it. You see, you need to know your God. Yes. Simple as that. This is life eternal, to know the only true God, and the way
The way is through gratitude. You can come some other way. You can come by hard works. You can come by endless meditation. You can come by a million incarnations. What's the point? When you can come now. Oh, it's crazy. Why would you do anything else? Thank you, Dad.